My name is Margaret Sullivan, and I'm 74 years old. But when I look in the mirror, I see a woman who could easily pass for 35. People stop me in grocery stores asking for my skincare routine. My own grandchildren joke that I look younger than their mother. But let me tell you something, 7 years ago, I looked exactly my age. Actually, I looked older. I was tired, overweight, struggling with arthritis, and frankly, I had given up on life. My doctor had warned me that if I didn't change, I wouldn't see my 70th birthday. But something happened that changed everything. And today, I'm not just alive, I'm thriving. I have more energy now than I did in my 40s. I wake up excited about each day. And I'm going to share with you exactly how I transformed from a sick, aging woman into someone who feels like she's discovered the fountain of youth. Because if I can do this at 67, you can do it at any age. Let me paint you a picture of who I was 7 years ago. I was 67, recently retired from teaching elementary school for 40 years. My husband James and I had just celebrated our 45th wedding anniversary. We had 3 beautiful children and 5 grandchildren. On paper, life looked perfect. But inside, I was falling apart. Every morning started the same way. I'd wake up at 8 or 9 a.m., already exhausted even after sleeping 10 hours. My joints ached so badly I needed James's help to get out of bed. My knees screamed with every step. My back felt like someone had placed a steel rod in it. Getting dressed was a 20-minute ordeal because bending down to put on socks felt impossible. I was 60 pounds overweight. None of my clothes fit anymore. I wore the same 3 elastic waist dresses because they were the only comfortable things I owned. My face had deep lines, dark circles under my eyes, and a permanent frown. My skin looked gray and lifeless. My hair was thinning and dull. I avoided mirrors because I hated what I saw. But the worst part wasn't the physical appearance. It was how I felt inside. I was depressed, irritable, and hopeless. I snapped at James over little things. I made excuses to avoid seeing my grandchildren because playing with them exhausted me. I'd stopped going to book club, stopped meeting friends for lunch, stopped doing everything I once loved. I just sat in my recliner watching TV, eating snacks, feeling sorry for myself. Then came the day that changed everything. November 3, 2017. I was babysitting my youngest grandson, Tommy, who was 4 years old at the time. He wanted to play in the backyard. Simple request, right? But I told him no. I was too tired. He started crying, begging me to push him on the swing. And I snapped at him. Grandma's too old for that, Tommy. Go play by yourself. The look on his face broke my heart. He wasn't crying anymore. He just looked at me with these sad, confused eyes and walked away. Later that evening, my daughter Sarah came to pick him up. Tommy ran to her and said, "Mommy, Grandma doesn't want to play with me anymore. She says she's too old." Sarah looked at me, and I saw something in her eyes I'd never seen before. Disappointment. Maybe even pity. After they left, I sat on my couch and cried. Really cried. Deep, ugly sobs. James came and sat next to me, didn't say anything, just held my hand. Finally, I whispered, "I'm not living anymore, James. I'm just waiting to die." He was quiet for a moment, then he said, "Then let's change that. Starting tomorrow." But it wasn't just that moment with Tommy. My health was deteriorating fast. I was on 7 different medications. Pills for high blood pressure, pills for cholesterol, pills for diabetes, pills for arthritis pain, pills for anxiety, pills for insomnia. Every morning felt like I was running a pharmacy. My doctor, Dr. Reynolds, had been warning me for years. At my last checkup, she'd been blunt. Margaret, you're pre-diabetic turning into full diabetes. Your blood pressure is dangerously high. Your cholesterol levels are off the charts. Your weight is putting tremendous stress on your joints and heart. If you don't make drastic changes now, you're looking at a heart attack or stroke within the next few years. I'd nodded, taken the prescriptions, and done nothing. Because I didn't believe I could change. I thought this was just what getting old meant. The morning after the incident with Tommy, I woke up and made a decision. A real decision. Not the kind of half-hearted, I should lose some weight, resolution I'd made 100 times before. This was different. I looked at James and said, I want to feel young again. I want to play with my grandchildren. I want to travel with you. I want to actually live the retirement we worked so hard for. Will you help me? He squeezed my hand and said, I thought you'd never ask. We started with research. Hours and hours of reading. I discovered something that shocked me: aging doesn't have to mean declining health. There were people in their 70s, 80s, even 90s who were vibrant, active, healthy. I read about the blue zones, places in the world where people routinely live past 100 in excellent health. I studied longevity research, nutrition science, exercise physiology. I joined online forums with other women who transformed their health in their 60s and 70s. And I learned something crucial: my body wasn't broken. It was just being treated badly. Every ache, every pain, every health problem I had was either caused or worsened by my lifestyle choices. The inflammation in my joints, diet, the exhaustion, poor sleep and no exercise, the depression, lack of purpose and terrible nutrition. My body was desperately trying to function despite everything I was doing to hurt it. That realization was both devastating and liberating. Devastating because I'd wasted so many years. Liberating because it meant I had the power to change. The first brutal months. I'm not going to lie to you and say the beginning was easy or inspiring. It was hell. Pure hell. I started with diet because that seemed like the most manageable change. I cleaned out my entire kitchen. All the processed foods, the cookies, the chips, the frozen dinners, gone. I donated it all. Then I restocked with whole foods. Vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, whole grains. The first week, I was miserable. I had headaches from sugar withdrawal. I was hungry constantly because my stomach was used to huge portions. Everything tasted bland because my taste buds were so accustomed to salt and sugar. I cried multiple times. I wanted to quit every single day. But James was there. He'd changed his diet too, even though he didn't need to. When I wanted to give up, he'd remind me of Tommy's face. Of why I was doing this. Exercise was even worse. My first attempt at walking, I made it to the end of my driveway. That's it. About 50 feet. And I was out of breath, my knees were screaming, and I had to sit down. I felt pathetic. But the next day, I did it again. And the day after that. Each day, I went a little bit farther. To the neighbor's house. To the end of the street. Around the block. Some days I backslid. Some days I couldn't do as much as the day before. But I kept showing up. I also started doing gentle stretching and yoga for seniors. At first, I couldn't even touch my knees, let alone my toes. My balance was so poor I had to hold on to furniture for the simplest poses. But slowly, so slowly I almost didn't notice, things got easier. Let me tell you about the parts of transformation that nobody warns you about. The social isolation was brutal. My friends didn't understand why I wasn't eating cake at gatherings anymore. Some took it personally, like I was judging them. Oh, Margaret thinks she's too good for our food now, one friend said at a church potluck. It hurt. I lost some friendships because people couldn't handle my changes. They felt threatened by my commitment. My own sister told me I was being obsessive and extreme. Family gatherings became awkward. Everyone would be eating pizza and drinking wine, and I'd show up with my homemade salad. I could feel their eyes on me, their silent judgment. Some people hoped I'd fail so they wouldn't have to feel bad about their own choices. Then there was the physical pain. As I started moving more, everything hurt worse before it got better. Old injuries flared up. Muscles I hadn't used in decades screamed in protest. There were nights I soaked in Epsom salt baths, crying from the pain, wondering if I was doing permanent damage. The doubt was constant. You're 67 years old, Margaret. What are you trying to prove? This is ridiculous. Just accept that you're old and enjoy what's left. That voice in my head was vicious. And some days, I believed it. There were also scary moments. 3 months in, I had what I thought was a heart attack. Chest pain, shortness of breath, panic. James rushed me to the ER. Turned out it was just anxiety and muscle pain from my new exercise routine. But I was terrified. What if I'd done too much too fast? What if I was hurting myself? The doctors assured me I was fine, but that fear lingered for weeks. 6 months into my new lifestyle, something shifted. I woke up one morning and realized I'd gotten out of bed without thinking about it. Without pain. Without needing help. I stood there in my bedroom, stunned. I bent down and touched my toes. Easily. When had that happened? I went to the bathroom and looked in the mirror, really looked, and I didn't recognize myself. The puffiness in my face was gone. My skin had color, actual healthy color. The dark circles had faded. My eyes looked bright and alive. I stepped on the scale. I'd lost 35 pounds. But more importantly, I felt different. Light. Energetic. Happy. That day, I went for my regular walk, and I realized I was walking fast. Not shuffling like I used to. Actually walking with purpose, with energy. I walked 3 miles without even thinking about it. 3 miles. 6 months earlier, I could barely make it to the end of my driveway. I came home and told James, something's happening. I feel like me again. Like the me I was at 30. He looked at me with tears in his eyes and said, "You look like the woman I married." That afternoon, I called Dr. Reynolds and asked for new blood work. She was skeptical but agreed. A week later, she called me back, and I could hear the shock in her voice. "Margaret, I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it. Your blood pressure is normal. Your cholesterol has dropped 80 points. Your blood sugar is in the healthy range. Your inflammation markers are down significantly. I've been a doctor for 30 years, and I rarely see results like this." She reduced 3 of my medications on the spot and said if I kept improving, we could eliminate more. I hung up the phone and screamed with joy. James came running, thought something was wrong, and I just kept saying, "It's working. It's actually working." By my 68th birthday, 1 year after I'd started this journey, I was a completely different person. I'd lost all 60 pounds. But it wasn't about the weight. It was about everything else. I had energy like I hadn't felt in 30 years. I was waking up at 6 a.m. naturally, no alarm, excited to start my day. My arthritis pain was 90% gone. I could move freely, bend, stretch, play. My skin looked amazing. People thought I was in my early 50s. Some even guessed younger. My hair had grown back thicker and shinier. The lines on my face had softened. I wasn't trying to look young, I just looked healthy. And health, I learned, looks like youth. I was off 5 of my 7 medications. Just 2 left, and Dr. Reynolds was confident those would go too within another year. My mood was incredible. The depression and irritability had vanished. I was laughing again, really laughing. James said it was like having his best friend back. But the best part? The absolute best part? I called Sarah and asked if I could take Tommy to the park. When I got there, he ran to me yelling, "Grandma," and I scooped him up and spun him around. He giggled and said, "Do it again." So I did. 3 more times. Then we went to the playground, and I pushed him on the swings for 20 minutes. We ran around playing tag. We climbed on the jungle gym together. At one point, another mom at the park came up and said, "Your son is adorable." I said, "That's my grandson." Her mouth dropped open. "No way. You look like you could be his sister." I didn't correct her. I just smiled and played with my grandson. People always ask me what exactly I do. They want the secret, the magic pill. But there is no magic. There's just consistent, daily habits that add up to transformation. Let me walk you through a typical day in my life now. I wake up naturally around 6 a.m. First thing, even before getting out of bed, I spend 5 minutes doing gentle stretches. Just moving my body, waking it up. Then I get up, easily, pain-free, and drink a large glass of water with lemon. I've learned that most older people are chronically dehydrated, and it causes all sorts of problems. Breakfast is my favorite meal. I make myself a smoothie with frozen berries, spinach, banana, ground flax seeds, a scoop of protein powder, and unsweetened almond milk. It tastes like a milkshake, but it's packed with nutrients. While I drink it, I take my vitamins, vitamin D3 because I learned most older adults are deficient, omega-3 fish oil for brain and heart health, and a good multivitamin. Then I do my morning walk. Every single day, rain or shine. I walk for 45 minutes through my neighborhood. I use this time to listen to audiobooks or podcasts. It's my thinking time, my meditation. Some mornings, James joins me and we talk about everything. These walks have become sacred to me. Mid-morning, I do some form of exercise. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I do strength training. Nothing crazy, just body weight exercises and light dumbbells. Squats, lunges, push-ups against the counter, arm exercises. It keeps my muscles strong and my bones dense. Tuesday and Thursday, I do yoga. A gentle senior yoga class that focuses on flexibility and balance. Saturdays, I swim at the local community center. Sundays are rest days, though I still do my morning walk. My food secrets. Let me tell you about the foods that transformed my health. I eat real food. That's the secret. Nothing packaged, nothing processed. If my grandmother wouldn't recognize it as food, I don't eat it. Every morning after my smoothie, I have steel-cut oatmeal. I cook it with cinnamon and top it with fresh berries and a handful of walnuts. Oats are incredible for heart health and keeping blood sugar stable. The walnuts give me omega-3s and keep me full for hours. For lunch, I always have a massive salad. And I mean massive. A huge bowl full of dark leafy greens, spinach, kale, arugula, mixed greens. I add colorful vegetables like tomatoes, cucumbers, bell peppers, shredded carrots, red cabbage. Then I top it with either grilled chicken breast, salmon, or chickpeas for protein. I make my own dressing with olive oil, lemon juice, and herbs. No store-bought dressings with their sugar and chemicals. Mid-afternoon, I have a snack. Usually fresh fruit, an apple with a small handful of almonds, or berries with some Greek yogurt. Or sometimes veggie sticks with hummus. Dinner is always protein and vegetables. My favorite is baked salmon with a side of roasted Brussels sprouts and sweet potato. Or grilled chicken with steamed broccoli and quinoa. I've learned to cook fish so many different ways, with lemon and dill, with garlic and herbs, with a touch of honey and mustard. James and I eat dinner together every night at the table, no TV, just us talking about our day. I drink water all day long. At least 8 glasses. I've learned that half the time I thought I was hungry, I was actually just thirsty. I also drink green tea in the afternoon, which is packed with antioxidants. The foods I avoid are just as important. No sugar except what's naturally in fruit. No white bread, white rice, or white pasta, only whole grains. No fried foods. No sodas or juice. No processed meats like bacon or deli meat. No fast food. It sounds restrictive, but honestly, I don't miss any of it. My taste buds have completely changed. Now when I taste something overly sweet or salty, it's actually unpleasant. But let me tell you something crucial that nobody talks about. Physical health is only part of the equation. My mental and spiritual health transformed too, and that might be even more important. I started meditating every morning. Just 10 minutes. At first, I thought it was silly, sitting there trying to clear my mind. But I stuck with it, and it changed everything. It gave me peace, clarity, and the ability to manage stress. I'm calmer now than I've ever been in my life. I also started keeping a gratitude journal. Every night before bed, I write down 3 things I'm grateful for. Some days it's big things, I'm grateful for my health. Other days it's small, I'm grateful for the way the sunlight looked on the flowers this morning. This practice shifted my mindset from focusing on what's wrong to seeing what's beautiful. I rekindled old friendships and made new ones. I joined a book club again, started volunteering at the library, took up painting classes. I needed purpose beyond just taking care of my body. I needed community, creativity, contribution. James and I started traveling. Nothing extravagant, just weekend trips to places we'd always wanted to see. We hiked in national parks, visited art museums, explored small towns. We were actually living our retirement instead of just existing through it. I also reconnected with my spirituality. I'd always believed in God but had stopped going to church or really engaging with my faith. I started attending services again, joined a women's Bible study group. It gave me peace and perspective. Understanding that my body is a gift, a temple, made me want to take better care of it. The moment I knew I'd made it. 2 years into my transformation, at age 69, something happened that made me realize how far I'd come. My daughter Sarah was getting remarried. She'd been through a difficult divorce a few years earlier, and now she'd found love again. She asked me to help her shop for a wedding dress. We went to this beautiful bridal boutique, and while she was trying on dresses, the consultant asked me, "And when is your wedding?" I laughed and said, "Oh, I'm the mother of the bride." She looked genuinely shocked. "I'm sorry, I thought you were the bride's sister." Sarah overheard this from the dressing room and came out in her dress, tears streaming down her face. "Mom," she said, "I'm so proud of you. You've inspired me to take better care of myself. Watching your transformation has been incredible." We both stood there crying in this bridal shop, hugging each other. That's when I knew. I wasn't doing this for vanity or to prove something. I'd done this to be present for the people I love. To be the mother, grandmother, and wife they deserved. At Sarah's wedding, I danced all night. I mean really danced, not the slow swaying I used to do. I danced with James, with my sons, with my grandchildren. At one point, all 5 grandkids surrounded me on the dance floor, and we had an impromptu dance party. They were squealing with laughter, and I realized this is what life is supposed to be. Joy. Energy. Presence. Being fully alive. Today, at 74, I'm living a life I never dreamed possible. I wake up every morning at 6 a.m. without an alarm, excited about the day. I do my stretches, drink my lemon water, make my smoothie. I take my morning walk, now usually 4 miles instead of just around the block. I'm still exercising 5 days a week. I've even taken up tennis. James and I play doubles with another couple our age, and we laugh at how terrible we are, but we're having the time of our lives. I'm completely off all medications except one low-dose blood pressure pill, and Dr. Reynolds thinks we can eliminate that soon too. My blood work is perfect. She says I have the health markers of someone in their 40s. I've maintained my weight loss for 6 years now. It's not even something I think about anymore, it's just how I live. But more than the physical changes, it's how I feel. I have clarity of mind. I'm still sharp, still learning. I took up learning Spanish last year because why not? I read voraciously, at least a book a week. I'm taking online courses about things that interest me. My relationships are deeper and richer. James and I are closer than we've been in decades. We take walks together, cook together, travel together. We laugh every single day. My kids tell me I'm more fun now than I was when they were growing up. My grandchildren beg to spend time with me because grandma's adventures are the best. I'm teaching my granddaughter to bake healthy treats. I'm teaching my grandson to garden. I'm present for their lives in a way I couldn't have been before. I volunteer at the library twice a week, helping kids learn to read. I'm part of a hiking group with other active seniors. I've completed 2 5K charity walks. I'm planning to try a 10K next year. Why not? People constantly ask my age, and when I tell them, they don't believe me. I get carded sometimes when ordering wine, which makes me laugh. Not because I look 21, but because apparently 74-year-olds aren't supposed to look like this. My message to you. Here's what I want you to understand. I'm not special. I don't have extraordinary genetics, my parents both died young from preventable diseases. I don't have unlimited money or resources. I don't have a personal trainer or a private chef. I'm just a regular woman who made a decision and stuck with it. If you're watching this and thinking, it's too late for me, I'm here to tell you you're wrong. I was 67 when I started. 67. Overweight, sick, on multiple medications, barely able to walk to the end of my driveway. If I can transform at 67, you can transform at any age. It's never too late to choose life. It's never too late to feel good in your body. It's never too late to be present for the people you love. Yes, it's hard. I won't lie about that. The first few months were brutal. There were tears, frustration, and moments I wanted to quit. But here's the truth, being sick and tired and watching life pass you by is also hard. You get to choose your hard. You can choose the hard of discipline and change, or the hard of regret and decline. I chose discipline, and it gave me freedom. 7 years ago, I thought my life was essentially over. I was just waiting to die. Now, at 74, I feel like I'm just getting started. I have so many things I want to do, places I want to go, experiences I want to have. I want to see my grandchildren graduate. I want to meet my great-grandchildren someday. I want to celebrate my 60th wedding anniversary with James. And I'm going to do all of those things because I'm healthy, strong, and vibrant. The real secret. You want to know the real secret to staying young? It's not a pill or a cream or a magic diet. It's this: decide that your life matters. Decide that you're worth the effort. Decide that the people who love you deserve to have you fully present and healthy. Then make choices every single day that honor that decision. Some days you'll make perfect choices. Some days you'll stumble. That's okay. Progress, not perfection. Just keep showing up for yourself. Drink your water. Eat your vegetables. Move your body. Get your sleep. Manage your stress. Connect with people you love. Find purpose and meaning. Laugh often. Love deeply. Choose joy. That's it. That's the secret. It's simple, but it's not easy. Nothing worth having ever is. But I promise you, from the bottom of my heart, it's worth it. Every hard day, every moment of sacrifice, every time you choose the healthy option when you want the easy one, it's all worth it. Because on the other side of that discipline is freedom. Freedom to live the life you were meant to live. Not just existing, but truly living. I'm Margaret Sullivan. 7 years ago, I was dying at 67. Today, I'm thriving at 74. And my life has never been better. If I can do it, so can you. Your transformation starts with a single decision. Make that decision today. Choose life. Choose health. Choose yourself. I promise you won't regret it.